Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, roar well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, this lesson I'm going to get into confusion of face. It's a video that I posted part of it on Instagram for edification's sake. Because it shows that even some worldly Israelites understand what confusion of faith is. Okay, so just listen to what he says. This guy on the screen, when he's talking about Jordy Nelson, which is he's now on the Raiders. He was a wide receiver on the Green Bay Packers. All right.
White chocolate. That's white chocolate right there. I like Jordy Nelson, man. He like one of my favorites.
Farm-raised kid from Kansas, originally a walk-on safety at Kansas State. Doesn't look that fast, that's the thing.
Super fast. We don't usually consider white boys being fast. He fast. That's why I call him white chocolate. He got a little mix in him. I gotta check his background. I gotta see who his daddy is down the line.
He said that's why he calls him white chocolate. There's a little mix in him. He's got to check his daddy down the line. What is that? Patrilineal, all right? Your father's seed line. That's what makes you an Israelite, all right? So down your father's line, if you're way down your father's seed line, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa, if he's an Israelite, and it goes all the way through the fathers to you, you're an Israelite, okay? If your grandpa's an Israelite, you're an Israelite. Your great-grandpa's an Israelite, you're an Israelite. Whatever tribe they're from, that's what tribe you're from, okay? And that's the same vice versa. So there could be people... There are people out there that look like so-called Negroes, and their dad may look like so-called Negro and their mom. But up their father's lineage, up the father's seed line, it's a heathen. So that makes them a heathen, all right? It doesn't matter what they look like. You need to get past that, all right?
Jordy Nelson leads his line of scrimmage under like a controlled speed, and then burst the outside, ran right by him.
That's some good feet.
It was like Ishmael's feet were stuck in cement, the way he went by him.
Jordy Nelson, my goodness.
You hear me? I told him, I said, I'm coming for you.
You could probably find 20 highlight film catches of him around the sideline throughout this season.
Nelson over the shoulder, catch is made, touchdown of the pylon.
How close was he to the sideline? I couldn't tell.
Bro, I mean, the ball landed over top of the pylon, so he had to keep his feet. It was
It looks
sick.
sweet.
I mean, that is like, woo! You can't do nothing but just smile when you see that.
He caught the ball in the Dallas game like this. Somebody was all alone.
He took it away from Orlando Scandrick.
And you can just see what he's saying in his head. Little boy.
Scandrick probably thinking he has an interception.
That's what he's saying in his head. Caught the ball, looked at the DB. Little boy. Hand the ref the ball.
Jordy Nelson is clutch on the sidelines, but it's his signature cut and cross that confounds defenders.
Jordy Nelson, what a feel for that cutback.
And he reading the safety. If the safety come down, I know I can go all the way across and get behind him. On that angle, it's going to be hard for that DB because he's going to be chasing all day.
We've seen that before. After he makes the catch,
No
cut
question.
across the grain for 6.
I think the Patriots touchdown right before halftime. We're in a 2-minute drill, and usually you want to try and work the sidelines and get out of bounds, but the way their defense was covering man on man, and he had kind of the middle of the field open, and he just took off.
Jordy running a slant against the heralded T.R.O.Y Revis that just beat him on the break.
That was a huge momentum play and a big game for us.
Touchdown, Green Bay.
Well, you got A.R.12 back there, man. And you got white chocolate with the 2 wheels running. And we didn't figure out what coverage they in. Little boy.
All right. So we're going to take a look at this chart. So, all right. This right here would be you or whoever, right here. Number 1. Whatever number 8 is, it goes all the way through the father's line down to you, okay? So if you are right here, let's say it's you, all right? And this person up here, number 8, father of number 4, right here. This guy is Benjamite. That means number 4 is a Benjamite. That means number 2 is a Benjamite. That means you're a Benjamite. Now let's look at that. Now let's look at your mother. All right, your mother. Let's say her father right here is an Ishmaelite. That means number 6 is an Ishmaelite, and that means your mother's an Ishmaelite. Even if her mother's an Israelite, all right? So if your mother's a heathen, does that make you a heathen? No, because your father's line right here went back to a Benjamite. All right, and it goes much further than that. All right, this is a couple, this is some generations. Imagine thousands and thousands of years, man. All right, it goes way beyond that. Okay, so number 8 right here might even look like a so-called white man, but way, way, way further up the line, up the father's seed line, it's a Benjamite, which would make you a Benjamite. Okay, that's what it goes by. All right. It's really not hard to understand. This is one of the most simple concepts to grasp. Okay? It goes by your father's seed line. Let's look up what patrilineal means. I might have spelled that wrong. Yep, Salakia spelled that wrong. Patrilineal, relating to or based on relationship through the father or descent through the male line, all right? And who do we have for our nation? We have patriarchs, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Not Sarah, Rebecca, and Rachel, all right? Or Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why? Because it goes through the patrilineal, goes through your fathers. All right, so if you're a descendant, your father's line goes all the way back to the Judah, the son of Jacob. You're a Judite. It doesn't matter what you look like, man. It doesn't matter, what your hair texture is, what your skin tone is. It doesn't matter, okay? So you need to get around that, man. All right, and there was a lot of rape and slavery too. And our people, even, because just like our men mix with heathens, which you shouldn't, and just like our women do it too. So there's people out there that look like so-called Negroes. And even up their line, even going back to this, number 8, let's say, this is the person, they look like a so-called Negro, and they could be really dark. You go up the line, number 8 looks like a so-called Negro, but, further up the line from hundreds of years back, or thousands of years back, for some reason they mixed, a woman mixed with a heathen, and the father's line goes back to a heathen. Goes back to, a Japhite. Then that person right there is a Japhite. Okay? Don't go off looks, man. It's by the Spirit. All right, now let's get into the scriptures. This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. All right? Let's go to Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. Okay? Got another thing as well. This is Ecclesiasticus 11:2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. All right, so don't hate somebody because of how they look. Well, he has pale flesh, so he must be an Edomite. You don't know that. Go by the Spirit. All right, I've seen people that deny Israelites because they have a so-called African accent because they're from the continent of Africa. That doesn't mean that they're a Hamite, man. Okay, you need to go by the Spirit. Okay, and a lot of you people that are carnal, well, they, because are all Israelites so-called Negroes? Basically, all right? Technically, they are. In the ancient world, they all look like so-called black people with different features and shades of brown, all right? But over time, given different bywords and mixed among the people, all right? You have Israelites that look like everybody now, all right? So-called Negroes and so-called Indians are the Israelites, all right? Which we break it down even further to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? But Latino and Hispanic is just a label given to somebody born in a Latin country or somebody descending from somebody born in a Latin country. All right? And anybody can be born in a Latin country and be called Latino. So that doesn't make you an Israelite right off the bat. Okay? It's about your father's lineage. Okay? It's about your father's lineage, and it's important that you go and reproduce with Israelites. Okay? But don't assume things, okay? Because a lot of you that are super carnal dealing with that, up your line, you could be a heathen. Or maybe not a heathen, but, up your line. Because a lot of people, they're like, well, no, if your mom's a heathen, you're a heathen too. That's not how it works. It goes by your father's seed line. If I plant a mustard seed in the soil, it's going to come out a mustard tree, not an apple tree. The soil doesn't affect what the seed, what tree it is. The seed is. Just like your father's seed is of an Israelite, so that makes you an Israelite. It's not hard to understand, man. And if you're carnal and you think if both your parents aren't Israelites, if only one of your parents is an Israelite, like if only your dad's an Israelite, you think if your mom's a heathen, you're a heathen. That's not how it works. Okay? And a lot of you people that think like that, up your line, how do you know one of your fathers didn't mix with a heathen? All right? Way up your line, or with a Hamite, which is why it doesn't look much different. You don't know that, man. All right? And I'm not, heathens can't be in this truth, but some of you that be having these false names and false doctrines, you could be heathens, man. All right? Up your father's line. Because that's Esau's trait, is to be carnal, man. We're spiritual people. We go by the Spirit, okay? And it's not hard to tell when somebody's an Israelite. If this truth resonates with their spirit, then they're an Israelite, okay? And if you see some so-called white person, like Jordy Nelson being called white chocolate by Israelites, he's probably an Israelite too, man, all right? And it's important to check people's ethnic background, because the Moors and Israelites, in Europe and all over, because we were scattered all over, all right? So there's going to be Israelites that look like every nation, okay? There's even Israelites that look like so-called Chinese people, okay? There's Israelites that look like so-called East Indians, all right? Etc., man. All right? It's not hard to understand. There's no such thing as mixed. You are what your father is. All right, but when it says mix, it's talking about people, going with other nations, which is a sin. All right, you shouldn't go with another nation, but us discontinuing from our heritage and our people not knowing the law, statutes, and commandments, and them being all around heathen women, and heathen men, they mix with them. All right, this is 1 Ezra chapter 8. I'll get right to the point, verse 70. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters. Who? The Israelites and their sons. So male Israelites have married with their daughters, being heathen women, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. Right? Yeah. So don't do it, because it's a sin. Especially if you know it's a sin and you do it, you're definitely majorly wicked, man. All right? But our people were discontinued from our heritage. So stuff like that happened. All right? That's something you need to understand. Where was that? Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger which shall burn forever. So if you are an Israelite and you don't know that you're an Israelite, you don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, you may go off and marry heathens. That's something that you may end up doing. All right, you shouldn't do it, but you don't know any better, right? And that's how it was with our people for a long time, man. They didn't know any better. They didn't know that they were Israelites. Or they didn't keep, they didn't know the law saying don't marry heathens. All right? And our people still don't know it now when they do it. That's why it's our job to go and tell them. All right? Because you should be marrying Israelites. All right? I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Go with an Israelite. All right? Even if they're a confusion of faith Israelite, go with them. Okay? Don't go with an actual heathen. So, the point's pretty much made. I'll get a couple more scripts, but the point's pretty much made. Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. Okay? I'm going to close out with one more script. This is Jeremiah. Whoops, Salaki, and then I pressed on Isaiah. Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour. All right. Actually, I get a couple more. Hosea chapter 7 verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. That's clear. That is clear as day. Okay, and what does that mean? A pancake, if you look at a pancake, for example, a cake, I mean, you can look at it as a pancake. That'd be a good example. The bottom of it, if you didn't flip it, the bottom of it's going to get darker and darker, but the top is going to be really pasty looking. All right? And that's what it likened Ephraim to, which Ephraim can just be the northern kingdom altogether. It says, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So there's some Ephraimites now that look really dark, and there's some that look really light. All right? And that's with all the tribes, really, now. Okay? So with that said, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone of Roel. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, keep pushing, and Lord willing, this makes sense to you, and that you get it. All right, Shalom. Oh, wait, and I want to say one more thing. And if you are one of these people that falls under this confusion of face, you look like a heathen nation, but you're an Israelite, and you're understanding this, then don't shy away because people won't accept you, all right? The men of the Lord will accept you, all right? Yahweh B'Shema Shai is reaching their hands out to you, okay? Just keep studying and doing the work, and, we'll be out of here soon, all right? We'll get those new bodies, all right? So, Shalom.